Hi everyone, this is Aaron for Zollotech, and I thought I'd give my first impressions of the Lumia 900. I decided to pick up a Lumia 900. I know it's a few weeks past when it came out, maybe even a month or so, but thought I'd pick one up. I really like Windows Phone. I don't have a current generation Windows Phone device to do comparisons and things, so I thought I'd pick up the Lumia, since it's pretty much the flagship Windows Phone. Now, the reason I have an iPhone 4S here is I wanted to show you the SIM card and size comparison. So you can see the size of the iPhone 4S next to the Lumia. The Lumia makes it look tiny, and it is pretty tiny. The Lumia is a little bit thicker, but that's not a problem because of the way the case is formed and size. It's the first LTE phone, but unfortunately for AT&T, but unfortunately I don't have LTE in my area for AT&T. I do have Verizon LTE, but not AT&T. Now, the reason I left this here also is Nokia included this SIM card removal tool. Looks pretty familiar if you've seen the one for the iPhone, with the exception of this isn't cut out. So let me go ahead and pop this out. Works great for the iPhone. And I've used these phones on and off, back and forth here, a couple days on this one, or one day or so. And in the top here, we have a similar hole for the SIM card. If I go ahead and pop that in there, it pops the SIM card out. And this is the SIM card holder. So we put the SIM card in here, micro SIM, just like the iPhone 4 and 4S, and it pops in the top here and pushes down. Pretty flush with the top. You can see there's the USB on the top and the noise canceling microphone. Let me go ahead and turn it on. And one of the things a lot of people mention about this phone is the button and where it is, as opposed to being on the top or in the top right corner as you have on some Samsung phones like the Focus. In my opinion, I actually like the location of it. I thought it was a good idea after using it for a little while. At first, I thought maybe it wasn't a good idea, but when I hold it, my hand lies naturally on this. Actually, my finger right here will hit it. I can turn it on and off quickly like that. I can do the same here with my thumb. So it just depends how you hold it, but it seems to be right there, and it works pretty well. There's our volume rocker here. Works well, in our camera button. The Lumia 900 screen is really nice. It is pretty large. I'm not going to go into too many specs now or anything. I'll do that in a later video. But overall, it's nice, it's vibrant, and it does a good job with Windows Phone 7. Windows Phone 7 is by default 800 by 480, and kind of low res compared to the iPhone and some other Android phones right now. But overall, I like it. Let me go ahead and slide it up. I'll put my password in here. So we're into the phone. Screen is nice, but it's a fingerprint magnet, more so than the iPhone by a lot. The iPhone seems to hold up well against fingerprints. I don't have a screen protector on either. And the coating on here, I don't know if they don't have a coating or what, but the screen really has a lot of fingerprints on it. I just cleaned it, and I find myself cleaning it a lot. And I don't know why that is, but I do find myself cleaning it a lot. Overall, I like the ergonomics of the phone. It feels really nice. It feels premium. It has a good heft to it and just feels solid. It does have these corners here, which are a little bit sharp. Not too big of a concern, but they are there, and I have had comments on that for people I've shown that have held the phone. I've used the audio out of it. That's so far been great. Very crisp, clear, no interference. The phone itself, though, overall is nice, but the first thing that I was disappointed with was this chrome piece right here. This is the camera and the flash, and you can see this is just a polycarbonate back, which also collects grease and things from your fingerprints pretty easily. You'll see that in many pictures, and it's not too big of a deal, but it's supposed to be a premium device, and you see those things, and it's just, it's not horrible or anything, but it's definitely not something you see with other phones as much as you do with this one. So on the back we have this chrome piece, and it's scratched up. This is the highest point on the phone, and it gets scratched really easy. In fact, the first 5 minutes I used it, I put it down, moved it around a couple times, picked it up, and it had a couple scratches on it. This is from a day and a half use or a day use. It's got all those scratches right above my finger. So pretty disappointing as far as that goes. On the other hand, though, the phone is really nice to use, so that's not too big of a deal. And if you had a case, you obviously wouldn't run into that. Now, as far as the phone itself, a lot of people had data issues with these, and myself included. I didn't think I'd have that issue. And Nokia released press statements and things saying that they'd give $100 back if you bought this before April 21st. I didn't do that, but the phone was from before then, and unfortunately it didn't connect to data right away. I called AT&T. They were absolutely no help, had no idea of that $100 rebate or any updates or anything that had been released. They thought it was a problem because I was using an iPhone SIM card. having used a lot of phones, you can just swap the SIM card around as long as you have a data plan, and there's not usually a problem. They were convinced that was the problem, wanted to change my data plan from my grandfathered in unlimited plan. I told them leave it alone and ended the conversation there. I moved back to the phone and then remembered there was that update. Completely forgot about it for whatever reason. Went home, updated the phone, popped the SIM card back in, and again, no luck. Didn't work. So then I couldn't figure it out, did some research, and found out I had to put in the APN settings, which fixed the problem and cleared the cache out of my Internet Explorer, fixed the problem. But I shouldn't have to do that with a brand new phone. And that's probably why they were giving that $100 rebate. And I still may go swap this since it has that issue. Maybe I'll get a blue one if they'll let me, I'm not sure. But I do like it. It's really nice. But here under cellular, I had to go to edit APN, put in the singular data. This is common knowledge online. You can find it on Wikipedia. I did a video on how to set up the APN, so I was pretty familiar with it. I just had forgotten about it and set it up, and it worked fine. You just shouldn't have to do that with a phone like this. So that's a big problem, especially since AT&T wasn't knowledgeable about it. Though I'm not really surprised, that seemed to be the case. So unfortunately, that was the case, and that explains maybe they just wanted to get me out of my unlimited data plan with their statements they had today that they can't sleep about it or whatever craziness they're thinking. But anyway, the phone overall is great. Camera seems to be pretty good. It's not as good as the iPhone 4S's camera, but it is a good camera. It does have a tinge to it sometimes. There's the iPhone behind it. It seems to do a pretty good job, I think. It's not fantastic, but we're under pretty bright lights, and that did a good job right there. You can edit it later and things, but I think most people will be pretty happy with the camera. It does have 720p video recording, but not 1080, which is a limitation of the software, not the camera. So once Microsoft updates to Tango or Apollo, hopefully we'll see that. Overall, though, I like it, and can't wait to keep using it some more. Now, if you have any comments about it or anything that maybe you ran into or were able to resolve or had similar issues, anything like that, please go ahead and comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do that. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.